Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, June 18th, and this is a very special Big Brother CarCast. It really isn't going to have much to do with Big Brother. So those of you that are looking for Big Brother news, check yesterday, which I didn't have a lot to say. Frankly, we're just in a holding pattern. But I said I would do this yesterday, and I've wanted to look at it, and so I thought I would do it real quick. So this is going to be some basic statistics about you guys that listen to this, at least what I know. And it's all about location. I didn't pull up the statistics that include devices. So, as I've said recently, a month or so ago, it was Memorial Day actually, I upped my service with Spreaker. Spreaker is the company that I pay to host this podcast, or the podcasts, since I also do a non-Big Brother podcast occasionally. I haven't done that for a while, but so they host it, and I upload it to there, and then they share it out to all the other services. Oh, I meant to look up that statistic too. Oh, well, I don't have it. I don't have the specific services that everyone's using, but the majority was iTunes, last I looked, and some Stitcher and things like that. But the breakdown's interesting to see the names of even services that I haven't heard of, and maybe I'll share that on a future one of these, because I know I'm going to do this again, because I find it interesting. I'm looking it up, and I thought I might as well share it. So I don't have, because I'm driving, I don't have a computer in front of me where I could actually click and look at some of these. The basics are, I've got the countries breakdown. I've got the states, because 92% or almost 93% of the people that listen to this are in the United States. And then I have the cities or regions for some of the top states. So I thought I would just run through those real quick. And what it means is that chances are most of you that are listening to this are probably going to hear your location. I say most, a large percentage, not a lot of you won't, because obviously, let's see, there have been, in the last roughly month, 30 days, there have been 2,021 downloads of at least one episode podcast of me talking to myself by people. So 2,000 in the last month, which isn't bad. Of that, I'm sorry, not 2,000. Actually, closer to, let's say 2,000, maybe 2,100, 2,200 probably ish. So, just going by country, I'm going to run down them all, I think, because it won't take me that long. 2021 in the United States. Canada, only 82. That was my disappointment that I've said before. It's like, come on, Canada. Don't more of you listen to me? I want to see if that number changes once Big Brother actually kicks off, because I'm curious. Then the United Kingdom, UK, 20, or actually it's 19. Australia, 18. India, 17. And then we start to get into single digits. Germany and Austria, 7 downloads each. France, 3. United Arab Emirates, 2. Russia, 2. Nigeria, 1. And Turkey, 1. That is all of the locations that have listened to my CarCast in the last month. Now, of course, it could be people using proxies, which all this is just statistics. This is just computers. The computer looks at what location is requesting the file or the files, and it's possible that people are bouncing around and using different things, but countries are usually pretty exact, other than, like I said, unless someone's using a proxy server. So it's possible people from outside the U.S. are using a U.S. proxy server so they can do other things, not listen to me, it wouldn't matter, but, I've used a proxy server so that I could watch shows in the UK or Big Brother Canada or Big Brother Australia in the past, not recently, but I pay for a virtual private network, a VPN, and occasionally I say, okay, let's pretend I'm in the UK. And so as far as the places I'm looking at that time they'd think I was actually sitting in the UK. So there could be some of that going on, but that would be relatively minor. All right, so within the United States, then, I'm not going to do all the states for sure. I'm going to do the top 5 or 6 maybe. California is winning the race or whatever you want to call it with almost 15%, 299 plays in the last month were folks in California. In Texas, number 2, 176, which, think about that. When you think about who's on the show Big Brother, Texas is usually up there with a number of people. And oh, surprise, surprise, a lot of people listen to me talking about Big Brother-related stuff in Texas. Georgia was next at 170. And then next after that was Indiana. Now, that number is a bit skewed because I'm in Indiana, and I figured this out. I mentioned before that I could only have previously 100 hours worth of total content, and so then I would download my previous episodes and save them for posterity for no particular reason, because I'll never listen to them again, but for some reason I didn't want to just delete them. And so every time I would download one to save it, that counts as a listen. And so that number, I know that it said that my location had done 63 in the last month. A lot of that was me downloading. I mean, there's probably somebody around here that's listening, but mostly it was me downloading. So really that Indiana number is probably closer to the 40s, in the 30s or 40s for Indiana. New York at 98, Illinois at 91, Minnesota at 86, Florida at 86. I am now at a place where I need to look and pay closer attention. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'm driving my car, which is a stick shift, and it's a bit wet. I just spun my tires a little bit as I pulled out. All right, so I said Illinois 90, Minnesota 86, Florida 86, Arizona 83, Wisconsin 68, Ohio 66, a lot of Midwest folks here, then New Jersey, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Oregon, Washington in that order, and Nevada. We're going to stop at Nevada. Oh, Oklahoma. We'll throw Oklahoma in there at 38, although I'm thinking that's just Tracy. Maybe. I don't know. It may not be just... I'm sure there's other people besides Tracy listening to me in Oklahoma, but I know Tracy's in Oklahoma. All right, so that's the state breakdown, and then we're going to do just what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. The top 7 states. I did the top 2 or 3 cities or regions within the states. It's kind of, this is kind of cool statistics. This is how far you can break it down. So I don't have the exact numbers for some of these just because I was cutting and pasting out of an Excel spreadsheet. But number 1 city in California. This is not the number 1 city overall, and I'd have to really download everything to figure this out. But the number 1 city in California was Los Angeles, with 80 listens in the last month. So that's either, it could be 1 or 2 people, it could be a bunch, I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess it's 2 or 3 dedicated people in Los Angeles. That's my guess. Could be wrong, but thank you for listening, folks. The next one in California came up was Martinez, which I don't know where that is specifically. I don't know. It may be a county. I'm not 100% sure, but Martinez is what came up next. I don't have a number. Again, that's because of the way I cut and pasted this data. So Martinez was number 2. Then to Texas. Number 1 in Texas, I don't know Little Elm, but Little Elm is what came up. I'm going to guess people in Texas know where Little Elm would be. Again, this may be a county. This may be a small city within a place. I don't know. I thought Dallas might come up, but no. We'll talk about Dallas in a second, but not in Texas. So Little Elm was number 1, then Pearland, and then San Antonio, which I know San Antonio. That's why I kind of went down until I found a place I knew. So San Antonio was the 3rd, right behind Pearland and Little Elm in Texas. All right, on to Georgia. We're almost done here, folks, by the way. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope some of you listen to this one. I hope some of you don't unsubscribe after this one. Dallas, Georgia, was number 1 in the state of Georgia. Don't know where Dallas, Georgia is. At least this is what it says. It says 129 downloads for Dallas, Georgia, and number 2 was Atlanta. I'm going to guess Dallas, Georgia is, without trying to figure it out, somewhere near Atlanta, maybe a suburb. I don't know, but 129 listens in Dallas, Georgia. Somebody or somebodies are quite a fan of listening to me talk to myself there. And then on to New York. And not surprisingly, number 1 is New York. So New York City, but only at 33 downloads. So that sounds like one person, one very dedicated person, maybe a couple or one and a couple other, people checking it out. And then Saratoga Springs was number 2. Oh, I wonder if no, that's not. I don't know who that is. I don't know who Saratoga Springs, but that's number 2. And then Brooklyn was number 3, which those of you that are from the New York area know that's all. Brooklyn is part of New York, the greater New York metropolitan area. So that's not surprising either. Then we go to Illinois. Number 1 in Illinois is Oak Park at 31 downloads. Now, my sister lives in Illinois, and I know sometimes she listens to me, but I don't know if she would show as Oak Park or not. I'm not sure. Again, some of this falls to your cell phone providers and your cell phone carriers and where they register you as. It may not be just your home. If you're not at home, it may be if you're listening on your phone, that's where things can show up. So some of these numbers could be based on your cell phone location and what it's reporting as and what your provider. And it doesn't necessarily mean, it shows me as being in one place in Indiana, but I'm 30 miles away from that location, but that's where my internet provider is. So that's where it shows as me downloading it from. So Oak Park, number 1, then Chicago, number 2. Oak Park was 31, Chicago was 24 downloads. All right, on to Florida as I'm starting to wrap it up here because I'm almost at work. Jacksonville was number 1, then Orlando, then St. Augustine. Those are the top 3 cities or locations in Florida that listen to me. And finally, the last one that I copied due to time and space on my spreadsheet, Minnesota. Minnesota was the 7th highest state. Well, no, I didn't do Indiana, so they were like the 8th. I didn't bother with Indiana to break it down. Rochester, Minnesota was number 1, followed by Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that's cool, and I made sure to include Minnesota only because I had talked about a YouTube channel that I've watched that I said is kind of like, Cops, but real. Not even TV show, with the sheriff of the county for St. Paul, whatever that county is, I can't remember right now, who drives around almost every Friday night and live streams it. And I've become a fan. I've just started watching it occasionally. I haven't watched last weekend's yet, so I'm kind of slacking because they'll do another one tonight. But it's interesting and fun. And so I saw that, a couple people from Minnesota, a few people from Minnesota have listened, so they would know probably a little bit about that maybe. That's it, guys. That's my statistics. I don't know if I'll do it again, I'm sure. I don't know if you guys are interested. Are you interested? Do you like to hear that? Is it kind of cool? I find it cool to see the different countries. I do find that. I was actually disappointed that there weren't a few oddballs. I didn't have time this morning to go back into a longer time frame to kind of see some of the other countries that have listened to it. But United Arab Emirates, Austria, Nigeria, Turkey. The Nigeria and Turkey won each. I don't know. I'm so curious as to what was that one show. You can actually, no, you can't tell. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can tell which broadcast, which particular podcast people were listening to, but there is a way to listen to individual plays, and that, I can say, oh, this particular episode was downloaded this many times and that kind of stuff. I don't think you can tie that to the specific location where they were downloaded. You can't get that granular on the statistics, but I am a bit of a statistics geek, so this stuff was really interesting to me, and hope you found it a little bit interesting. We'll see if I do this again. Most of the time I'll have a lot more to talk about during Big Brother than statistics, but it was fun to look at and share. So with that, I am pulling into work. I hope you have a good weekend. I plan on having a good weekend, and this person doesn't know how to park, so we will not be parking next to them because they're way across their line. We're going to go around the corner. But that's it, folks. It is an overcast day here in Indiana. Slight rain right now. I'm hoping that goes away. Weather has been actually extremely nice. Kind of dry. This is the first rain we've seen in a while. Oh, we had an earthquake here in Indiana yesterday, and I did not feel it. There's a whole little side note for you while I park. We had a very small earthquake. I didn't feel it, but my coworker did. I probably did feel it. I just didn't realize what was going on because I was distracted. But I have felt earthquakes before here in Indiana. It's been a while, and it sounds like it was similar to that one, where there's just a bit of a bump, and you kind of like, what the hell was that? And that's it, just like one bump or one quick rattle, but no damage or anything. But that was kind of cool. All right, with that, folks, I'm out of here. Everybody be well, and have a good weekend, as I said before. Take care. Thanks for listening. And thanks for those of you that listen to the commercials at the end. I appreciate that too. Bye.